What's up, guys? Hope your day is going well. We're back here again today with some more Sova lineups, this time on Haven. The good thing about Haven is that there are 3 separate sites for the enemy to push onto. So on the defensive side, we're going to be looking at a lot of info darts, as well as a lot of good double shock dart lineups. As well as on the attack side, we're going to find some very good info darts, as well as some that we can maybe push on and be a bit more aggressive. So let's waste no time and take a look at the first recon lineups. If your team has decided to push up more towards A and you want to get a recon dart over onto site, this next recon is going to be just wonderful for that. First thing you're going to want to do is put yourself in this corner next to these sandbags. Second thing you're going to want to do is take a look at this specific leaf right here. This one right here next to this little wooden bar. From there, what you're going to want to do is take a look at your Sova drone, specifically the body part of the logo and the bottom left side of it that is at a slant. When you pull out your recon, you're going to want to go ahead and make sure that the left slanted side of your recon logo is touching the right side of that leaf right there. It's a bit hard to see with that diamond, but if you hold it right about there, it should overlap like so. From there, you're going to want to go ahead and give yourself a singular charge bar and 0 bounce. Let it go. This one will travel all the way, land right here, revealing anyone who is deciding to sit onto site was using your team. Go ahead and push onto site. Now, they might be able to shoot this after the first couple of times of doing it, but even after that, you should even still try it again and again because it is just a very wonderful dart. It helps your team be aggressive. Even if the enemy knows where it's coming and has to shoot it, if you shoot it at the right time, the enemies will have to shoot it while they are peeking your teammates. So just be aware of that and know where your teammates are and where they're pushing. But definitely use this one in your next upcoming Haven match. Moving over to the attacker side towards A, this first recon is going to be going up A long, and this peak is going to be something that a lot of people go ahead and peek. This angle is going to be very, very contested, so this recon should net you some very easy kills. First thing you're going to want to do, put yourself into this corner next to this vase. Take a look at this little trapezoid position, specifically the bottom left part of it. When you pull out your recon, you're going to want to make sure that the left side of your second bounce diamond is intersecting with the bottom left side of that trapezoid like so. And that is going to be a simple 1 bar charge and 0 bounce, and let it go. And as you can see, it nails right here long, revealing anyone who is maybe trying to push up quickly and get a quick peek on that, letting you be able to get the kill. Now with every Sova dart, this one is only going to work so many times, so be careful that you are changing it up time and time again, because that dart they could easily try to dodge and then peek you when you least expect it. Alternatively, if you'd like to get a recon over towards Heaven, what you're going to want to do is put yourself in the exact same corner with the sandbags, except this time you're going to want to take a look at this second light bulb to the right. When you pull out your recon, you're going to want to put the second charge bar, the bottom left side of it, into that light bulb like so, and give yourself a 1 bar charge.
Revealing area.
This will travel all the way onto Heaven, landing right here, and if you are standing in Heaven, you will either have to shoot it or get shot. On the other side of A, we have a post-plant double shock dart lineup here from A long. What you're going to want to do is position yourself right in front of this door. Take a look at this second little pillar, wooden pillar thing coming out from the left. Pull out your shock dart, and for this first one, you're going to want to go ahead and line up with the tip of your Sova drone logo with the top left of that second little wooden pole bar. From there, you're going to want to give yourself a 1 charge bar and let go. And for our second shock dart for this lineup, you're going to want to take a look at this furthest planted pot to the right. When you pull out your second shock dart, you're going to want to make sure the far right line on your UI at the bottom, the far straight white line, is curved at the exact same angle as that potted plant, and then it is going to be a jump and immediate release.
Shock dart.
When you put both of those shots together, it'll look a little something like this.
Shock dart.
The timing will vary depending on how fast you can get that second one off. It is a little finicky once you first try to test it out, but once you get it down to a science, it is very, very quick and can hopefully get you a quick kill on the bomb. Starting off on defense, we're going to be taking a look at a recon dart from A Heaven all the way to A Garden and revealing A Lobby. You're going to want to go ahead and position yourself in this Heaven spot right here towards the left side of this wall. From there, you're going to want to take a look at this branch in the top right, put your crosshair like so. Stand a little bit closer as you can see in the window. Go ahead and give yourself a 2-bar charge and 0 bounce and let it go.
Area.
This dart, as you can see, will travel all the way to Garden, revealing anyone who is deciding to push up and revealing anyone who is already in lobby. Secondarily, if the enemy decides to start pushing really quickly onto A and they throw a smoke or somehow block your line of sight from seeing Heaven, what you're going to want to do then is just give yourself a little bit of exposure right here to see this wall. Throw a simple dart right here and just be able to blow through the smoke. This dart might end up getting you killed more times often than not. Just be aware that even though you are able to shoot them, depending on the weapons that they have, they can just spray right back at you. So maybe consider going back down, trying to regroup with your team, and pushing onto site before shooting this recon. For a retake onto A site, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is position yourself in this corner right here. Take a look at the second wood piece jutting out from the right side of the wall. Take a look at this little crevice right there. When you pull out your arrow, you're going to want to make sure that your first your first bounce diamond, the left part of it is overlapping this little corner like so. From there, it is a very simple full charge and release.
Revealing area.
This will land right here, revealing anyone who is on site, giving your team very, very good amount of info to go ahead and retake the site. Moving on from recons, we are now going to be checking out our double shock dart lineups for Haven. Our first one is going to be for the A default plant, as the enemy is going ahead and planting it. What you're going to want to do is first put yourself next to this right wall in between this big, dark, deep, jagged line like so. From there, you're going to want to take a look at this light bulb next to this side of the wall. When you pull out your first shock dart, you're going to want to make sure that your Sova drone logo is cusping the bulb like so. After that, you're going to want to go ahead and give yourself a 1 charge bar, 0 bounce on this first shock dart, and it'll look like so. Our second shock dart, after shooting that one, we are then going to direct our attention towards the top of this roofing, specifically the very last little hole thing right here, this
Right here.
corner. When you pull out your shock dart, you're going to want to make sure that the top left of the charge bar is touching that corner like so, and it is a very simple pull and release.
Shock dart.
Altogether, when you put it one by one, it'll look something a little like this. Shooting one after the other, getting there very, very quickly in between each other, giving you and your team ample amount of time to hopefully push and retake the site before they plant. When it comes to shooting recons onto B and attacking this site, this one doesn't necessarily give you a lot of angles to go ahead and shoot some recons onto the site. So besides your normal recons
Scanning
like
ahead.
here or there,
Right here.
then another wonderful recon that you can do if you don't want to go ahead and peek is from window. What you're going to want to go ahead and do first is make sure that you are not getting peeked from garage, whether you have a teammate there, a trap by a teammate, or something of the sort. Just make sure you are not getting peeked from there. Assuming that is not the case, what you're going to want to do is take a look at these 4 windows right here, split them down the middle, make sure that this right side of this window is splitting them like so. You're going to want to then go ahead and take a look at this first corner on the right side next to this little medallion. From there, you're going to want to go ahead and put your top left part of your charge bar into that corner. Give yourself a singular bounce and a full charge.
Revealing area.
This one will not only reveal anyone who is standing up top right here, but will also go ahead and show anyone who is deciding to stand either on this side towards C-Link or this side towards A-Link. You should always really be pushing with people as a Sova when you're pushing and taking sites, but if you are playing alone, B is probably one of the worst sites if you want to go ahead and just try to get some random info for your team. So just be aware of that when you're going ahead and shooting recons. Maybe make sure you have the team over with you first, but otherwise that should be a really good recon for getting any snipers off of any holds or making sure that you can either peek or walk through mid safely. When holding mid to start off the round, a great first info dart that you're going to want to go ahead and shoot is this one right here. What you're going to want to go ahead and do first is line yourself up with the middle part of this little wall on site. From there, you're going to want to take a look at this furthest little gray part in the middle of this paint. You're going to want to make sure that you are able to see that and only that as far as the red bar goes. From there, you're going to want to give yourself a singular bounce and a full charge bar and let it go from there.
Scanning ahead.
As you can see, this arrow bounces, lands right here in the middle, not only revealing anyone who is pushing from window, but also lets any teammates who are holding garage know if anyone is pushing towards there. While this arrow is mainly good for grabbing a lot of info towards mid, it can also be used to maybe retake mid entirely if you want to go ahead and shoot your arrow there as you decide to push up. Then you can have your teammate push up from garage and hopefully close off part of the map from the enemy team. Positioning ourselves over more towards the C side, specifically garage, this recon is going to help you clear out anyone who is going ahead and holding any of the corners in there. What you're going to want to do first off is put yourself as close to this wall as you can. Take a look at this second bar onto this further wall. Make sure that this first wall is overlapping with it like so. From there, you're going to want to make sure that you take a look at this bottom small thin gray bar. When you pull out your recon, you're going to want to make sure that the left side of your second diamond is touching the right furthest part of that line, like so. After that, you're going to want to give yourself one bounce and one charge, and just let it go.
Revealing area.
As you can see, it travels above, bounces there, and lands right here, capturing anyone who is even holding behind this box, or holding either of these two corners. With these next two recon darts going on to C, these are going to be the last ones we have for Haven, so let's take a look at them. Our first one here, we're going to want to go ahead and put ourselves in this furthest corner as we can here. Take a look at this furthest leaf right here, a little bit darker than the rest of them. Make sure your cursor is right on that. Give yourself a 1 bar of charge and let it go.
Ahead.
This one will travel above the trees and land right here onto site, revealing anyone who is backside or standing over here towards B-Link. If you'd like a dart for the ability to reveal everyone onto site, this next dart is going to be just wonderful for that. Make sure that you are as far against this wall as you can as possible. Then you're going to want to take a look at this part of the roofing right here, this little bit darker one. You're then going to want to make sure that you close the gap between that and this near wall like so. Make sure it's just overlapping like that. After that, you're going to want to take a look at the top of the roof right there. Give yourself a little bit of an inch above that. Give it 1 bounce and a full charge and let it go.
Revealing area.
It will bounce off of that and land right here on the top of this roofing, revealing literally everything that you can see onto site, from logs
Right here.
to behind here
Right
to
here.
even behind there on this little off angle. Most definitely one of the most useful darts that I've seen thus far on any map for Sova. It allows you to be able to push onto site pretty much completely freely, assuming they don't shoot it. And even if they do, depending on how fast your team is pushing, you might even be able to catch someone off guard as they're trying to shoot it all the way up there when you're pushing from all the way over there. Over on the attacker side towards C, we have a couple of different double shock dart lineups. First one for the default plant in
Right
that
here.
corner, and second lineups for the long
Right here.
plant right there. First lineups we're going to be checking out is the default plant lineup. Again, like our other recon darts, you're going to want to make sure that you line yourself up to where that part of the ceiling intersects with that part of this close wall. From there, you're going to want to take a look at this third brick from the top. When you pull out your shock dart, you're going to want to make sure that the left little curvature line of your UI touches the third bar like so with the tip of it. After that, you're going to want to give yourself a 1 bar charge on this one.
Shock dart.
Our second shock dart for this lineup is going to be a little bit easier. You're going to want to take a look at the top of this door. Just trace it all the way till you see the indent in that wall. Give yourself 1 bounce and a full charge and let it go.
Shock dart.
Putting those together, the shock darts should look a little something like this. A little slow on that second one for me, but you get the point. Overall, it can happen very quickly, especially if you're quicker than me. you can get a extremely good amount of damage done there for anyone who is trying to defuse or for anyone who is standing around the bomb. For our last double shock dart lineup, we are now going to be taking a look at the plant for C long. What you're going to want to do first is go ahead and make sure that the furthest side of this wall is overlapping with the near side of this left wall, like that. After you do that, for the first shock dart location, you're going to want to go ahead and make sure that the the left UI line is parallel to this tree, like so, just touching the right side of that ceiling, or that roof. You're going to want to give yourself then a 1 full bar of charge and release.
Shock dart.
The second shock dart, you're then going to want to take a look at the furthest right little blue box right here. The top right of it is where you're going to want to put your crosshair. You're then going to want to give yourself 1 bounce and a 2 charge on the bar.
Shock dart.
When that all comes together, it'll look a little something like this.
Shock dart.
This one happens very quickly. Both land in about half a second of each other and guarantee that no one will be on bomb as you go ahead and shoot those. As with all of these double shock dart lineups, it's important to know that having your teammates is very key and crucial. You still can get off some good shock dart lineups if you don't have any teammates, but overall, the places that you put your character sort of leave yourself open to get shot if anyone is going ahead and pushing from long, or any of the other positions that we have stated for our double shock dart lineups. So just keep that in mind when shooting them, and always be aware of where the enemy team is. If you get pushed off of C or are looking to retake with a wonderful recon dart, this next one is going to be just perfect for that. First thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you are situated in this corner like so. From there, you're going to want to take a look at this big poster, specifically the top left part of that poster. After that, you're just going to want to make sure the second wheel to the right of your Sova logo, your Sova drone logo, is touching the top left tip of it right there,
here.
like so, as you can see. From there, all you got to do is pull out your recon and give yourself a 1 charge on the bar and let it go.
Revealing area.
This one travels relatively quickly, landing here and alerting you if there's anyone who is holding backside
here.
behind that box or anyone who is planting default.
Right here.
With most of these recon darts onto Haven, you're going to want to make sure that you shoot them pretty quickly after they plant or while they are planting. By the time they get the plant off and a good decent amount of time has passed, they could already be pushed back towards long or pushed back into garage, so your recon dart might not do a lot of help for you and your team. On the defensive side of C, we have this wonderful recon dart that you can go ahead and shoot to grab a lot of info from C long. What you're going to want to do first is at the beginning of the round, line yourself up next to this box in this corner. Take a gander at this little metal box next to this pole, specifically the left part of it jutting out. You're going to want to make sure that your crosshair is locked onto that. From there, then, it is a simple 2 charge on the bar and release.
Revealing area.
This one, as you can see, travels all the way back long, lands on this tree branch like so, and not only reveals anyone who is deciding to push through C long, but also lets you know if there's anyone who is sitting around here, maybe going towards back to main. There may be a lot of times that you start to hear an enemy push up and you have an Omen or a Brim who decides to go ahead and smoke this C long. If you start to not hear any noise or anything like that and have held your recon dart, you can go ahead and also shoot that same recon that we just shot later on in the round. However, just be aware that you could be exposing yourself to C long at any given point, so make sure it is either smoked, make sure you have a teammate holding it, or just make sure you don't get cheese clapped. Our first double shock dart lineup towards C is going to be on the defensive side, and specifically if they are planting
Right here.
default in that corner. What you're going to want to go ahead and do is line yourself up with the middle of this furthest left wood. Then from there, you're going to want to take a look at this dark spot in the wall, specifically this intersection between the 2 bricks. When you pull out your first shock dart, you're going to want to make sure that the furthest right line on your UI, the white line, you're going to want to make sure that it intersects with those 2 bricks that I just pointed out with my crosshair, like so. Once you have that, it is a very simple 1 charge bar and pull. Second Shock dart is going to be exactly the same position, except this time you're going to want to go ahead and take a look at this biggest little metal part coming from this antenna. You're then going to want to pull out your shock dart and make sure that the little right click icon on your UI, the top right of it, is intersecting it like so. From there, it is a very simple charge and pull. And when you put both of those shock darts together in real time,
Shock dart.
they land perfectly on default, and we'll go ahead and make sure that at least the planter gets a good 40 damage done to them. And that will just about do it for us here on Haven. Thank you all so much for checking out all the lineups and shock dart lineups we have here for you today. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you if you've watched any of the other videos. It means the absolute world to me. Like I said, we're getting more of these out fast and quick. This one should be coming out as I'm going to be away. So I hope you guys are having a good time. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your back to school era. Make sure to leave a like or comment on the video. Let me know what your favorite lineups or shock dart lineups were for this map. Let me know if there are any better ones that I missed. Let me know if there is an agent that I haven't done any lineups for that you would like me to do lineups for. And I will make sure to see you guys on the next video.